YouTube, this is Avarn here once again, with a interview with Tj Greene, the ETA Elvis tribute artist that we all talked about, and raged with, all this good stuff. So TJ, how are you today?
Ah, not too bad. I mean, definitely been busy for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely been busy.
So, getting into questions then right away. So, just if you could explain what was your life like in before an Elvis tribute, what kind of led you to what you thought you should do becoming one?
Well, a lot of what I did before was just musical theater, drama, acting in plays in high school. I was part of glee clubs, so I still did a lot of vocal performing. Um, I was just pretty much like active in the arts for sure. It was definitely something that I was passionate about. Um, I hadn't really at that point thought of like the Elvis tribute. In fact, I wasn't exposed to it, so I didn't know a whole heck of a lot about it. And then a few years after I graduate, I start working in Rutland, Vermont, and I meet my wife Heidi, and our first date of sorts, we went to this pub that no longer exists here in Glens Falls. It was called Fork and Beers, and uh, guy who would end up being my brother, or like my brother, Joe Ramsey, was DJing at the time, and he wasn't doing his Elvis tribute yet, but Heidi had informed me that he was, what was called an Elvis tribute artist, and that he sang Elvis Presley, and uh, by the way, sings it really good, I might add. And then uh, we got to talking. He and I got to talking, and his wife Angela. We got to talking and starting to become really close friends, and we would go over to their house every so often and would pull pranks on each other. One particular prank in general, I'll probably discuss a little bit later on. Um, Joe pulled on Heidi that she is still sworn vengeance for. Um, so we got a camaraderie in regards to all that. About 6 months after that meeting, I was pulled aside and I was informed that Joe's sound man, his best friend, still one of his best friends, Walt Stevens, had gotten injured. And he wasn't able to do the sound work for Elvis, the Elvis tribute shows that Joe did. So he asked me if I wanted to step in. So I did. 6 years running, did behind the scenes sound work. Occasionally, it's a rare thing now because of what I do actively, but I still help out with the shows and whatnot. Get a chance to hang out with them. But uh, it's through that got me exposed to the other guys, the other tributes, and what they do. And my wife and I went to the Lake George Elvis Festival a couple of years ago, and we've been going since. And a guy by the name of Cliff Wright, uh, he does an incredible uh, Conway Twitty tribute as well as his early Elvis tribute. Um, Walks up to me and asks me when I was throwing my hat into the performing and the competing and all that. And I didn't know what to say at the point. And Heidi comes up to me and she's like, if you feel that you can have fun doing it, and I know you love to perform, go ahead. I support you. And it's I think it's that whole um the musical theater and everything else. I think that helped me get the confidence enough to the experience beforehand. Um, and what led me, what led me to choose that this was the right thing I was doing, to answer the other part of your question, was I performed a song at now a very close friend in the Elvis Tribute family, Sandy Corrento and her husband. They were having their anniversary party over across the street at the Gold Shade from where we live. And as a gift, uh, I decided that I was going to get up there and I was going to sing Elvis's "Baby, What You Want Me to Do" from the '68 comeback special. And everybody came up to me, including Heidi, whose mouth had pretty much hit through China at that point, and she had the biggest smile on her face. And everybody else saying, I did a good job. That I started thinking, okay, this is the right way to go. And then I think the first group show that I was part of, that I was on the marquee for, the advertisement flyers, and people reacted, and the video of this is on my personal Facebook. I was singing "Fever," and everybody just started singing along and reacting to it, and it was at that moment that I definitely guaranteed that I was doing the right thing with the Elvis tribute.
That's a good backstory there. Now, does that make you feel, happy, in fulfillment that all the fans, supporters, and all the supporters of the other tributes? How does that make you feel? That make you feel happy? Uh, of all of them supporting you every step of the way in your life and becoming a tribute?
It is nice to know. I mean, it is nice to be able to experience the family of it. I mean, the friends and supporters more than what are quote unquote fans. I mean, yeah, you got the purist for Elvis Presley fans. People who really want you to look, sound, act like Elvis Presley down to almost a molecular level, and that's fine for them. But Elvis Presley was one of a kind. Um, Elvis was Elvis, and we're just ourselves, but we're singing his songs and dressing up in his jumpsuits. Um, it definitely does make me happy that, you know, people do come to the shows and enjoy them and uh, give support and critiques and things. You know, my problem is when people obsess about certain things or try to tear other tributes down. Um, personally, I feel very lucky, very blessed to be included among guys who've been doing this a while, performing with the guys that I have. Um, like this last year, I've been centrally performing with guys by the name of Drew Polson and Kevin Harder and Joe Ramsey. And these three guys are just amazing people. But people try to, tear us down. I mean, you know, insult us or, create stories and lies. And it's kind of sad because we all have this kind of tight knit. It's not tight knit, but it's very, you know, inclusive. Um, like family. Like if something happens to one, the others jump in. It's kind of almost like the Three Musketeers. Only there's like 95 Musketeers.
Mm-hmm.
So that part is not so good, but it's it's really all in, like I guess another thing is, purists of certain tributes. Like, yes, there's gonna be people who come to your shows and they support you, but they're still biased towards other tributes. That's fine, but people shouldn't be so biased to their tribute that they don't acknowledge when somebody else has done a good performance or good competition. Um, like if they're not happy that there's one, that's fair. People are human, but if somebody just the fact that everybody was included in a competition type of thing, and everybody gets to perform and be part of a group-wide Elvis tribute performance slash competition, then that's what matters to me.
Mm. Well, that's good. That's very good. Now, so what do you think? What do you see yourself? You see yourself doing this years to come, correct?
Yes, I mean,
Okay.
I, I will if admit at first it kind of didn't feel that way. I mean, I was nervous about it. I wasn't sure that I was, quote unquote, good enough or talented enough. And it not meant against anybody, but I kind of just thought, okay, well, this is just going to be a flash in the pan thing. It, you know, bottom line is if it all didn't pan out, then I could fall back on something else. But after the first few shows, and then when I did the Westfield competition over in Buffalo, uh, which that was called Reflections of the King, and I had so much fun, and I had such a great experience. It really definitely hit home that it's not something that I want to only do 1 year. It's something that I want to do until I can.
Mm-hmm.
And whether it's group shows or solo shows or competitions, which all of them are pretty much there's a whole bunch of them, competitions and things like that around not only the tri-state area but other states. I mean, things happen in Memphis and California and Georgia, and uh, I think there's a not just this country, but I think there's a Elvis tribute competition in Brazil that just happened. So it's like Elvis is definitely recognized everywhere. Um, so I definitely want to keep doing it, years from now, and meet new tributes or people that have been around a while that I haven't met yet. Um, Compete with a lot of these guys, talk with a lot of these guys, and just be able to experience it.
Mm. That's good. Because it seems to me is you've got this on lock, as in you're making it, and it seems to me that you've got a good group of people, guys, other tributes, fans, etc., family, your wife, everyone to support you on this. I really think that you can make it. I really do.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, like the people who have supported, me at the start. I mean, especially in regards to, um, the guys over at, South Glens Falls McDonald's, where, obviously, you work with me. I'm a
Hmm.
shift manager at, but the guys that came to the boat competition, in Albany that summer,
Hmm.
and they didn't have to show up. In fact, they did. They pretty much made it, aware to me that they weren't likely showing up, and then all of a sudden they popped through the door of the competition, at the beginning of my set, and I'm like, okay, so that's the way it's gonna be played.
So it was basically a surprise.
Oh yeah, and it
Yeah.
was a very nice surprise, and like like you said too, it's really great that it's not, you know, every man for himself, dog eat dog, we're just gonna kill to be on top. Um, 3/4 of the guys in the business that I've talked to, it is a family. I mean, we are there for each other in the worst times. I've seen people come to the aid of other tributes, um, gave them, messages of hope and whatnot, you know, in their, darker periods. So it's like, it's nice to know that, yes, we may compete and try to have, just kind of one of those, okay, well, you know, this is how well we've done in the past. And, it's nice to say award-winning tribute in shows that you're getting hired for. Um, Truthfully, if if nothing else, yeah, if I win an award, that's gonna be great. I look forward to it, but I don't need it in order to do what I do. You know, what I do is not only for myself to kind of feel fulfilled as a performer and continue to perform for people, but it is for not only the fans of Elvis Presley that still exist in our life, to this day, people old enough to have been able to get the honor to see him live on stage. Um, but to kind of bring Elvis to new fans, maybe a younger generation, kind of say this is who this man was, and this is why we perform like we do and go do these things, and um, it, it's my hope that the other tributes feel the same way. I've talked to a few, and it's definitely a popular thing, but it's something I really hope that a lot of us continue to follow, because if you worry so much about the competing and performing, you lose out on a lot of good friends, and you lose out on a lot of great experiences.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's pretty. Uh, that's something. What was I gonna say? Uh, is there anything you'd like to add to this at all? Any update information that you want to put out there? Anything at all to add?
Just that right now my videos of the shows that I've done in the past, or at least some of them, are on my personal Facebook page. Also, photos of past events are on mine and my wife Heidi's Facebook pages. Um, I know we just created, which it is pretty awesome. We just maybe a couple of short weeks ago created my Elvis tribute fan page on Facebook, which is ETA Tj Greene. It's gotten a 92 likes so far, which is pretty awesome. Definitely hoping we can get more than that in the next coming year. I mean, I really hope to see possibly 200 or more would be nice, but uh, whether it's 200 or 200, you know anybody who wants to come and see my shows and see what I do, um, and I hope that people do see how much passion I do have for that music, and that kind of genre, and what Elvis was during that time, and what his performing still holds relevance, even now. Um, that'd be great for me. I know major-wise, I have been officially accepted and am preparing to perform slash compete in the 2014 Lake George Elvis Festival this May. Uh, they're doing a week-long thing again, which is pretty awesome. Last year it was the 10th anniversary um, of the Lake George particular festival, 10 years, which was really good. Um, this year they're bringing back the week-long event, and I am competing in the 70s non-professional jumpsuit division. So it's gonna be great to see who I compete alongside, and kind of get to see everybody that I knew again, and maybe meet some new friends.
Well, that definitely sounds like it'll be a great experience for you. I do want to add that I do hope to make it to one or two, maybe more of your shows. Possibly get some interviews with other tributes as well, and get some, show everyone what you do, show off your stuff. Um, and it would just be it would just be a real honor to do so. That's why I would definitely hope to accomplish this. And coming to a close here, is there any other shout outs you want to give out to any tributes, fans, etc.?
Um, well, I definitely want to shout out, to my wife Heidi. Like I said, you know, all these tributes, they're people I look up to currently, but the one who gave me the inspiration and the support to do this was definitely her. Um, I definitely want to give a shout out to every Elvis tribute artist. I mean, I know so many of them right now. The list is absolutely too huge to count. But guys like Joe and Drew and Kevin and others who have already like won the ultimate tribute contests or won the Lake George stuff or I met there and I'll reunite with again. Definitely like it's definitely nice to be included in what you guys do and to be able to say I can do it myself. Definitely want to give a shout out to everybody at the McDee's, because everybody there has been extremely supportive and they've asked me how my shows have gone and you know I really can't ask for any better friends and company than that.
Mhm.
I want to give a special shout out to uh, the Ramsey, Monran, and Polson families because those particular three have been extremely close to Heidi and myself and in this journey so far, this last year of performing and uh, actually, one of the shirts I'm wearing, the Monreans gave me. So hope you guys notice when you see this. Thank you. Badass shirt. Um, but definitely the guys over at Bonnie and Clyde's and Major League Barbers, both of them in Queensbury. They've done really good jobs with my uh, hair, haircut, hairdo for the competitions and the coming up shows. So I definitely want to give them that because if not for that, it would, my look would probably be a lot shaggier in regards to like a little bit more gruff in regards to the tribute stuff. And I definitely want to say, thank you for having me on this interview and kind of let me get a little bit more of me out to people so that way they kind of, so, they and you who are watching this, can see that, I'm not just some, arrogant person who thinks I'm all that you know, or who doesn't appreciate the people who help me in any way, shape, or form because people have all helped, whether they're fans or they're friends. And just kind of, you know, hopefully let other people see that Elvis tributes aren't, just like impersonators or just, stereotypical, you know, facsimiles of Elvis. It's, it's us paying homage to a legendary musical performer. So,
Well, like I said, in coming to a close, this interview has definitely been helpful for me, helpful for you, and something to behold, and I was honored to do so. Um, also, uh, well, I guess people, I guess you have it there. Tj Greene, the ETA Elvis tribute. And it's been an honor to be on this interview with him. And I hope you guys attend all of his shows, any at all. You can attend. I mean, all of them would be good. I would assume. I would assume he'd be very appreciative of that. Showing up every one of the shows.
indeed, guys, if those of you who are watching this, if you get a chance to, as of this recording, I will be performing a solo show at a benefit fundraiser for my friend Jessica English Rivers in Wells, Vermont, at the Modern Woodsman Hall. More information can be found on my personal Facebook or my ETA Facebook. Please contact me if you'd like to know more. Um, I want it known that this is my first ever solo show. I'm not taking any money for it. This is a donated show. Um, so regardless of that, I'm going to be performing a mixture of his stage tour hits, as well as some of his gospel performances. So hopefully you guys can come out and support that. Doors open at 2 o'clock. My first half-hour set will be at 2, and I'll have another one at 3 o'clock. So please come out and support both myself and the cause. It would be really great. Um, so for me, definitely it's been a great interview. I had a blast, and uh, it was great. I'm glad you were able to have me on. And to all you, may God bless you. Adios. Thanks for watching me.